down here, which is kind of cool. So you know, one tap access. The other cool thing, and I don't know if this is specific to the Droid or specific to Android 2.0, but I did find myself while on a call at one point wondering. Let's see. I'm going to just. Yeah, I'm hiding my my call logs here. Okay, so this I don't care about. So I wondered, you know, there's no physical, there are no physical, you know, talk end keys, you know, and so I was like, how do you, you know, how does it know, you know, how do you end a call? And I figured out, and this is kind of a hard test, but I think the accelerometer, when you lift the phone to a certain angle and tilt it, the screen turns off. So it's definitely hard to show in this test. But basically, when you lift it up to your ear, the screen turns off, and then when you bring it back down, the screen turns back on. I wish I could show it to you right here. Actually, you know what? I can't show it to you. So that's me. Screen's off. You can see noticeably the screen is off, and I'm going to bring the phone back down, and you can see that the phone just turned itself back on. So I hope that worked. I couldn't see myself at the same time, but I think you get the idea. But either way, it's a pretty cool feature, and so that obviously is how they solved the problem of you know, no physical talk end buttons. So that was pretty cool, and I was like, how does it know? But it knows, so it's pretty cool. What else? The updated browser. There is a new address bar at the top, a new bookmarks button, I guess, and a new bookmarks layout. You get a thumbnail view now of all your bookmarks, as opposed to just a text list, you know, of a listing of your bookmarks. So that's pretty cool. And so Verizon's network in my area is really fast, and that coupled with the Droid's, you know, extra horsepower, web page rendering is just, it's at an all new level. At least for Android, it's on another level. It really is. And you know, this is a mobile website, ESPN Mobile, but you could just see here just the sheer speed of just rendering, you know, scrolling through this page after it's been rendered. Let's check out, you know what, let's go to the Leak Droid website real quick. Quick shout out to all the rest of the boys over at Leak Droid. Hopefully we've been keeping you guys up to date with news and new leaks and rumors. And so as you can see here, as the page is coming in, the new Android 2.0 browser gives you a fully zoomed out view of the website. So, you know, just like as it would on your computer, you know, you can see a whole, you know, overview. And then once, you know, you can double tap to zoom in, you know, and it is still loading some stuff around here, loading some flash animations and ads and stuff. And that stuff always takes a while. So, but you can also fine tune it with the, you know, the zoom buttons just like normal, pretty smooth. Another good test I had up here going is Huffington Post. Now, I don't know if you read Huffington Post or not, but it's a pretty intensive site. You know, they have 3 columns, lots of JavaScript and videos, you know, waiting in the wings, ready to be loaded. So it's a pretty intensive site, and it's also a very big, long site, you know, in terms of content on the home page. There's a lot of content on the home page, so the site does take a little while to load, but that's not specific to a phone. That's just in general. And they actually do some, I don't even know how you would call it, but basically the images down below and video, you know, clips that are thumbnailed here, don't get loaded until you scroll down to that section of the page. So, you know, as you scroll down, then they get loaded, and it's the same thing. It's just like on, you know, on your desktop, it does the same thing. And it's, you know, they do it to help you with page load time, so you can load the whole page quicker, and then it will just slowly load more pictures as you scroll down. And so there we go. I think it's fully loaded. And then once, I mean, the site, once it's fully loaded, I mean, you could see the Droid just whips through this website, like scrolling wise. I mean, it's unbelievable. Landscape mode, of course, accelerometer is in the phone, so you can turn it into landscape, and same thing. I mean, scrolling is super fast, you know, and it's like all these pictures, all these images and videos, you know, thumbnails ready to be loaded, This thing just literally whips through the website. So, and that's the default notification on the Droid. Some people absolutely love it. Some people will want to change it right away. But the cool thing is that you can change it. So, there you go. But so updated browser, the experience is much better. I think the old Android 1.5, 1.6, that browser, it's still a great browser. But just the optimizations that they've done, and I guess the extra speed of the Droid really makes a difference here. So what else we got here? Android 2.0 also introduces support for Microsoft Exchange. So full native support out of the box. You can sync up your work email, work calendar, corporate contacts, stuff like that. So that's a really welcomed addition to the Android platform, and I know a lot of business Exchange users out there will be very happy about that. There's a new app called Car Home, which basically just gives you the quick access to your most needed icons, or apps that you would want in the car while you're driving. And I actually did a test of the new Google Maps navigation software, which is the free turn-by-turn GPS software included on the Droid. And you can check out that video, probably a couple paragraphs down, but it works great. And so I'm not gonna jump into that here. So yeah, Android 2.0, they've done a really nice job optimizing the software. They've polished it up a little bit. Things are definitely a little bit cleaner and more polished. Settings has a new layout. It's reorganized a little bit better. Makes a little bit more sense usability wise. So they've done a really good job, and I'm sure performance wise they've done an awful lot of optimizations. Introduced support for new screen resolutions, like I said, new hardware. So Android as a platform is evolving, and support for newer hardware is coming along, and the Droid is the first test of that. And so far, I think Motorola's really got a winner on their hands, and as does Verizon. This phone instantly just becomes Verizon's best phone. So, and it may be the best phone they have for a while. So, yeah, great job all around on the software. So one of the most asked questions about the Motorola Droid is, how is the keyboard? And with any smartphone that has a keyboard, with any phone that has a keyboard, that's of course that's one of the main attractions to the phone, to have physical slide out QWERTY keyboard. A touchscreen keyboard is nice, but it's simply just not a full-time option for a lot of people. So that being said, the Droid's keyboard it's decent. It's pretty decent. At first, it took a little while to get comfortable with this hand position. I'm a little familiar with it from the G1, but because of the D-pad where it is, and then the extra little chin here, you do kind of have to reach over with your right thumb a little bit. So it takes a little getting acclimated to just the hand position, but after a while you'll get used to it, and it'll be fine. You won't even notice it. My only gripe really is that the size of the keys is a little bit smaller than I would have liked to see, and in the spacing they're pretty close together, as you can see, and they are totally flat. So travel wise, you kind of have to switch your technique up a little bit, and I found that instead of using the technique where you're actually lifting your thumbs and tapping around, you kind of slide more across the flat keyboard and are pressing. And so that takes a little adjusting because the keys are a little smaller and closer together. But it's not a deal breaker. You should be able to get acclimated to it pretty quickly. And I have pretty big hands, so if I can get acclimated to it, I think pretty much anybody can. So it's not the greatest physical keyboard in the world, but it's far from the worst I've seen and have used much worse. So Droid keyboard is solid, and like I said, there's always the touchscreen keyboard to fall back on, or for quick searches or whatever. If you just want to type in a couple characters or something like that, it's always there, and it works in both portrait and landscape modes too. So